Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Sorry there's been no videos over the last couple of days, but we're back and we're here to talk about something maybe a little bit dated considering the transfer window has now been shut for a couple of days. But we'll touch on as well the game today, Celtic beating Hamilton 4-1, and a result that, took some time. We had to be patient, we had to persevere, but we did get there in the end. We got a very positive result. But we're going to kind of sum everything up and we're going to talk about the past few days in this video, considering the kind of social media outbreak that went on after the transfer window had shut on Friday night, and the sort of disappointment, the anger, and some of it, really kind of deserved anger towards the transfer window and Celtic's business in the month of January. We're going to try and go through as much of it as possible. And we'll cover why Celtic fans should feel disappointed. So we'll start with the game because I feel like it does kind of reflect on today's performance, today's result. We went into the game obviously playing the same 3-5-2 formation, which we did speak about on the channel in the previous video. Sort of spoke about if we should be using that for the rest of the season, if we have the players to our disposal to keep going with it, and if it looks to be the best for Celtic. Now there's a lot of things individually to pick apart from that tactic. I believe that we could comment on both positively and negatively so far. I think the main positive is Eduardo looks fantastic up front with Griffiths with a partner. I think you could honestly put anyone alongside Eduardo and you're going to get the absolute best out of him. I think it gives him more of a chance to try and score goals rather than create goals, and you're going to get something incredible in result because of someone being alongside him. So that in itself a major positive. The major negative, and it kind of comes on to the conversation of the transfer window, is the fact we don't have enough depth in the squad, especially as we move back. Moving into that sort of back three, our strongest back three that we have right now is probably Simunovic, Julien and Aya. Now, Simunovic, as we know, not the most reliable of players, not, always fit. We have seen him struggle with injuries. We've seen him go off at half-time against St Johnstone the other night, and we did not see him at all today. And in fact, we gave the young boy Welsh a start, who, to be fair to him and to give some credit there, didn't look bad at all, looked solid enough. I don't think he set the world alight, but once again, don't think it was a negative performance. He did come off later in the game to allow players who could create goals to come on, because that is what we needed at that point in the game. But up until then, I didn't see much of a problem with Welsh being in the team. But we needed to bring in a defender, and we never done it. We needed to bring in someone who was going to improve the first team. We know how close the title kind of race was. Now obviously we've built a little bit of a lead there after Rangers dropped points yet again at the weekend, which is a completely different subject to move on to altogether. I'm sure we'll cover that at some point on the channel, especially as we move forward to the next derby game. But we have built a little bit of a lead, but it's still close. There's still a lot of games to go. We've still got another cup to compete for. We've still got European football, and we're rolling with two centre halves who are usually there. They're in, week out. But definitely have a slip up in them. And then we've got a centre half who is, rarely fit, rarely at his fullest of fitness. And then we've got young boys and around that. So we've not got, an established back three that we can rely on week in, week out. We could really have done with quality in there. And as well, a lot of people, crying out for quality to be added on, maybe even in the wings. Now we obviously, with this formation, with this tactic, you have the option of playing an actual winger or a wing back. You could see Abdelhamid come back in and fill that role since he's there. We've got Frimpong, who, when he comes back from injury, can fit in that role. Forrest on the right as well. Then on the left, you've got multiple choices. You've got Taylor, you've got Bolingoli, you've got Johnny Hayes. We have got options in and around there, but in terms of an actual winger, someone to kind of be alongside James Forrest, the only other options we've got is Karamoko Dembele, who's still, 18 years of age, still got a lot of growing to get into potential. He's still got a long way to go. Still playing in the reserve squad, or the under squad. And then you've got Shved, who doesn't look to be getting a look in at all. So Celtic fans being very, very open, being very clear with their voice on social media at the disappointment of the business within the transfer window, especially on deadline day, knowing that we had to add to the squad. And the question that gets posed is, should we be angry? Should we have that disappointment in the board for the transfer business in the January window just past, obviously making only two signings? We brought in Patrick Klimala for £3.5 million. We brought in Ismail Assoro for also probably the same fee, but these are two guys who we don't even know are going to be in the team an awful lot. We've already seen Klimala just get used very sparingly over the space of 10 minutes in a game. not getting a great chance to show himself off. Sorrow we've yet to see. Obviously, he's only been in the team for about a week now, so let's be patient on both players, I would say. But it was not the January window that I think we were led to expect at the beginning, when Neil Lennon came out and said he would like to sign, what was it, 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 players who could come in and help improve the team. We didn't really do that. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that there will be potential there for the likes of Kamara, for the likes of Sorrow. I think they will come into the team. And eventually we'll get to show off their qualities, and I think we'll be very happy with those signings. That's what I'd like to think. But there is also obviously that chance they could be another 2 of the Neil Lennon duds, you know, a couple of signings who, you know, go in that list for, you know, we made a video the other day about the worst players of the decade. There's every chance it could be any of those. I really hope not, and I don't think so. I think we will get to see quality out of them, but it's a question of when. But the real, you know, the real crying factor was, there was no first team improvement made. There was no one brought in. You know, there was talk for days of Wanyama perhaps coming in, which would have been, you know, groundbreaking pretty much, despite, you know, the state of his knees in this day and age. It would have been massive. It would have been a great show of intent from Celtic to go out and get Victor Wanyama from Tottenham, a man who, you know, was involved in the Champions League final only a matter of months ago, and a man who has obviously shown how good a player he can be at the highest level in the Premier League. Someone who has given a lot to Celtic in the past too. There was talk of him, you know, there was talk here and there of other players, you know, at the start of the window. We're looking at the striker Spirar, who undoubtedly would have brought in a significant amount of quality, but now is off to Sporting Lisbon. We fell through on that deal. There was talks of players, and then there was a whole one about Christian Atsu as well, which apparently fell through on the 11th hour of deadline day. To me, wouldn't have been the greatest of signings, but players know, people know how good a player he can be. Once again, a Premier League quality player. And any of these guys could have came in and added a great deal of quality to the depth in our squad, but once again, Peter Law letting us down, and no money really spent in a window where it was, you know, vastly important. We went in and showed that we want to go and win 9 in a row. We have the, you know, the greater drawing factor than Rangers. Now, on the other side, Rangers didn't exactly have a great window either. They didn't do much. They saved it late. They ended up bringing in Canberra and the guy Hadji as well. They brought in a couple of players. They didn't exactly set the world alight in the transfer market either. But surely after the performances against Rangers in December, you would expect more. And the question, the question is, do the board care enough? Are they gambling the 10 in a row? Now, I've always been on the side that I think Peter Law has done a good enough job as running the club that they could. Because, look, you know, we're in a very positive position. But it's when you look at stuff like this, you know, we're a club that should be doing our best to keep and bring in the best quality of player possible available to us, you know. Not just going out and signing players from the Israeli Premier Division and etc. I mean, granted, yes, we do find some hidden gems now and then. We do find some great looking players. Even the likes of Abdelhamid has came in. I think he's made a decent account of himself since signing for the club. He's looked really strong at points, but it's not the kind of players that are going to help us in the terms of European journeys, and it's not the kind of players that are the most, you know, it's not the ones that are going to go, right, that's us won 9 in a row, that's it. We want players, and we want a team that's good enough for us to know the next time we play Rangers, the next time we see them at Celtic Park or Ibrox, we have, you know, the odds in our favour completely. Because Rangers are at that level now where they are catching us. It's sad to admit. And yes, now we have established a little bit of a lead with them dropping points, purely down to their bad form coming out of January window, but that's still not over. You know, there's still a long, long way to go, and I have said it time and time again on this channel, I have no doubt we'll win 9 in a row, but you want to do it in the best fashion possible. You don't want to leave it nervy, you don't want a helicopter Sunday in your hands, and as much as I don't think we'll see that, the board are having that risk of gambling it by not making these signings. Now, a lot of people are satisfied with the squad, and personally I am too. I'm very satisfied with the squad Celtic have to their disposal. I think we've got great players from front to back, but we just don't have enough depth. With this free at the back tactic, we should have been signing someone like Filip Benkovic. Why were we not? Why were we not pushing our hardest, trying to put as much money towards it as possible, whether it was a loan deal or not, to try and bring in a player of his quality, of his calibre to the squad? That is the kind of thing Peter Law should be doing. He should be thinking to himself, no fucking mercy here. We want the best players. We want to be disposing of Rangers with ease. And that includes the matches themselves, not just the end of season result if we're holding up the 9 in a row or not. The matches themselves, we should have a squad which is disposing of them easily on this quest for 10 in a row. And I'm all disappointed with how the January transfer window went. Now, yes, we're in a comfortable position in the league. Hopefully we're on our way to winning another treble as well. But it would have been nice to see someone who came in that brought a standard to the club that meant that there was no doubt in our mind of where this season was going. And I still, you know, feel like that's the way it's going. But, you know, we cannot deny that it was a disappointing January window after what we were led to believe at the start. The question I pose to the viewers and the people watching this video, are the board gambling 10 in a row, because that was the general outcry after the window was shut on Friday night. What do you think? Do you think they're gambling 10 in a row? Peter Law, is he the right man for the job? Let me know your opinions in the comments. I've basically voiced all of mine there. If you have enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. There will be more videos throughout the week. More podcasts as well on the second channel, which you can find the link for in the description. Let me know your thoughts to my thoughts. I'm just rambling as always, but it's what I do best. I'll see you all next time.